I am and I will. I am Isatta Sisay-Jalloh from the Health Show Partner. It's World Cancer Day on February the 4th, 2020. So what are we going to do about it? I am a wife, mother, and a sister. I am a nurse with a special interest in cancer and palliative care. And I am a game changer. So join us on Saturday, the 7th of March for the 2nd Annual Cancer Conference. There will be speakers talking about prostate, breast and cervical cancer, myth busting, and looking at cancer from a traditional and religious perspective. You would walk away saying, I will get smarter, I will get screened, I will eat healthily, and I will create change. So, let's work towards a brighter and healthier future. I am and I will.
Hello, good evening, kushe, kabo, me family them, me people them. Welcome to another Monday, and it's actually it's a new month. Happy new month, me family them. Una kushe, una kabo. It's your one and only the Moses for SaLone Entertainment, aka DJ Little. Did you see that? Actually, the Moses precedes the DJ Little because the Moses is now taking more priority than the DJ Little, deliberately for a specific reason. Because we're retiring by hook or by crook. Those who don't want us to retire, those young boys that are 19-year-olds and young ladies that actually don't want us to retire, we shall retire. Kushe Kabo mi family them is the second day of March. As I said, to a happy new month. Welcome to SaLone Talk, which is hosted by me, myself, and I. And I have a lot to go through tonight to you, and usually I can have an icebreaker, and I will get to the icebreaker, but I want to say a quick apologies for actually starting at 9 o'clock. That's because there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and these days we're learning quite a lot, you know what I mean, debriefing, in briefing, out briefing. But I want to find out, how's your weekend? How was your weekend? Was it a busy weekend for you guys? Was it a busy weekend for somebody else that you know, or was it just one of those quiet weekends? And we shall find out. In the studio with me, I look like a proper uniform guru in it. It's I'm kind of feeling odd because I'm used to being like on the other side. That's right. I'm like the other side. So I don't know, because usually she drags us and then she interviews us, and the days that when we do the show, and it's all gone. And like even when I was doing program with her, I'm like on the other side. But I'm not going to give her any special introduction. Welcome to your own health guru, the queen of cancer. By force, she will educate you guys, she will feed you guys, she will stuff you guys the information, and you feel comfortable to talk about it. And she's also a title which is going to hate me. She's your award-winning community champion as well. And before that, she had been a champion of champions before, but we're still gonna, when you get the trophy now, only counts. So she's your award-winning community champion, and obviously she is the CEO of the Health Show. Let's say good evening and welcome to Mrs. Isatta Sisay-Jalloh. Kushe Kabo, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm not shaking your hands. Go coronavirus.
Hey, that touchy face. Hey. There you go. Sneeze. That's why for sneeze.
Do you know we had training today, and they've been very specific that we should apply ANTT, non-touch technique.
Non-touch. Okay.
Human non-touch. This is not medication non-touch technique. This is human non-touch. So can we just greet ourselves in the Chinese way? Yeah, that's it. That's the Chinese way. Yeah, Kushe Kabo, welcome to SaLone Talk. A very special. I feel awkward, Isatta.
I know, me too. I feel a bit like.
I don't understand. I really feel a bit awkward having to be sitting on this side. I'm actually used to being on that other side, and then you're talking, or when I have you, you have us. So you're like on this side, and then I'm on this side. So how does it feel? Are we gonna get used to this?
Shall we swap?
Yeah, let's swap. No swap. I'm going. No swap. I think we're swapping, people. We're swapping.
We're swapping.
It feels odd.
Yeah.
Now I feel better. Do you feel better now? I feel I was out of place.
I know. It didn't feel comfortable.
Look, we're getting some likes and that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel better now. Do you know what I mean? You know, the reason being, from here to the exit door, just in case I offend you, is quick. I can just open the exit door and then run. Listen, people, if you're just joining us, welcome to the show. It's SaLone Talk, and tonight we're going to go straight to the point. We're going to talk about the C Word Conference, and it's Volume 2, Part 2, Version 2. I don't know what you want to call it. Annual 2, second annual, and I just want to know, like, it's incredible that a year has gone on, and we're going to find out what you've achieved in a year, what has been done in a year, how this 1 year of the C Word looks like. Yeah. Well, it's okay. That's all right. Yeah. It's one of those. So we got a lot to catch up on, and then also I want to catch up on you as well as a person, and I needed to find out a bit more. So let's get to business. Let's talk about the C Word Conference Volume 2, just briefly, and how's the preparation?
The preparation is going smoothly, and you know, I've got the likes of yourself and of course Sarah Gem Media. We're constantly fighting. Yeah, my big brother.
He's worth it.
Oh my God, that guy can run you crazy. Yeah, you know.
That's the trouble when you work with perfectionists.
I know. Yeah, it's mad. So, but it's going as planned. Yeah. I'll go and do a quick sweep of the venue on Wednesday, just to make sure logistically everything is fine.
You're in place.
Yeah, and then I'm in the process now of we're formatting all the presentations, because I hate when I go to events and presentations are required to be done, and that's when people are bringing their flash drives or finding their presentation and all sorts. I don't like it. Yeah. So what I like to do in advance. So I'm constantly now on, you know, on the back or the speakers. Yeah. Yes, those who need to do presentations. Yeah, I need them to produce their presentations by Wednesday. Yeah, so that we can format it so it's in the queue.
Everything's going to be going seamless.
Flow.
Yeah, yeah. And it's interesting, isn't it? It's been good so far. It's interesting because it's not something that we're used to as a SaLone community. You'll find that if I take it for what I know best, like in the music industry, you have an artist coming to perform, and you would have made all the arrangements and said, okay, can we have your songs? Let's have your PA. Are you going to be doing a live PA? Are you going to be doing a backing on your own original music? Can you email it to us? Oh yeah, don't worry. And then you'll be like, up to the hour, up to the point, and then they'll turn up with a CD, and then you go, I'm not playing CD on my laptop. Yeah. They tell, oh well, I've got a flash drive, and they go, okay. So what's in that song? Oh, can you go into the second folder of the third song of the fourth folder? Yeah. No. Yeah. So if you're gonna give me a stick, which you're late already, can you just give me the 2 songs that you're gonna perform? Why are you giving me a song that, oh, by the way, not open that folder? I mean, we're feeling assignments and they did. Do you know what I mean? So how have you managed to be able to make sure people are compliant to do what you've asked them to do? Because it did work. I don't think you had that much glitches in
no, the first time it was perfect as well.
How?
Well, I'm dealing with professionals. We're all professionals. And I think when you are a professional, you have to behave and act like one. So all the speakers are professionals within their own right. Okay. And these are professionals who they've probably given talks at bigger and higher and high caliber conferences. Right. So they're used to things like this and they know what to expect. So they don't have any problems. So it's more of a matter of time trying to juggle their day-to-day work-life balance in order for them to...
So that constant reminder, they're not seeing you as a pain.
Yes.
Where it's like, oh, let me give me that. Let me say they do
No.
Okay, fantastic. So you talked about, and I know in the past you've spoken about what you call it, the whole idea of reviewing feedbacks, because you had a lot of feedbacks that came through.
Oh, yes.
You said, you know what, I need to go back, I need to listen, I need to read what people have said to me.
Yeah.
Have you achieved that so far?
Oh, yeah.
And do you want to just give us a summary briefly of what needs to be shared? Not everything obviously that you want to share. What needs to be shared? What sort of feedback did you get from last year from the audiences and the speakers as well?
Well, last year I would say the conference was quite simple compared to this year, and the reason being, last year was the first year, and so but from the first year, they actually then made sure, you know, they gave me feedback, which is exactly what I wanted. And this year again, I'm going to repeat it. So from the feedbacks, it was quite clear that people wanted more. They wanted more and more. And so some of what I've been doing throughout the health show programs on Thursdays here on Diaspora Voices is feeding to some of those feedbacks. Because a lot of
those issues.
Yes, because some of those feedbacks were not cancer related.
Yeah.
But they were health related.
I see.
So I've made sure, for example, I've spoken about menstruation. Last year I spoke about menstruation.
Yeah.
That was something somebody mentioned, a couple of people, and then actually something else they've mentioned that I'm going to talk about soon is fibroids. Somebody mentioned, can you please talk about fibroids? So those are the kind of things. But it was pretty much excellent for all the speakers. They found the speakers very informative, very clear, very simple, even though scientific, and so it was amazing. And then so some of the comments I got was, it was very useful, it was informative, people were like, well done, and people said it's so great to see so much healthcare professionals within our community. Now, because that was one of the things I tried hard to do. So apart from one speaker who was non-Sierra Leonean last year, all the rest of the speakers were Sierra Leoneans. And the survivors as well were Sierra Leoneans. Now, unfortunately, this year I am unable to repeat that, purely because I have not been able to locate or reach out or find Sierra Leoneans within some of the areas that I wanted covered. Now, again, I'm hoping from, you know, conferences like this will have more, because we do have healthcare professionals who are Sierra Leoneans in various professionalisms. So if they could only just come out, and then we could give back to our society, so, and community. So it was pretty much people saying, oh, we're glad you're giving back to our community. We need more of these events. Please do more. There are actually people saying I need to do more than one a year. So I'm like,
I know there's a pressure on you to actually.
Yes.
One of the key things I like, based on what you said earlier from the feedbacks which have come, is the fact that people are wanting you to reflect more on what you are running by. You run the health show, so to speak, is what we're hearing. So whilst your main forte is on cancer and cancer awareness and educating people on cancer, all the very many various forms of cancer, people want you to tap into other health-related issues, not necessarily either diseases or viruses, but any health awareness sort of thing. And you've just mentioned the likes of talking about the menstrual cycle, talking about fibroids and other ailments. And why do you think the people or audience want you to address more of these issues?
Well, I think because people are hungry for knowledge. And I know we find ourselves in a society where knowledge is very much available, but it's whether it's at the level that people want to hear it. And this is irrespective of whether you're a graduate or a postgraduate or you're a doctor. Sometimes you just want to come to that basic level and hear things from your counterpart or someone from your own community. And I think that's why. And also it's because we are increasing in terms of generational in the community, in terms of the Sierra Leone, especially diaspora. We are growing. We have now 4 generations. And I think we're beginning to see more ill health we're beginning to see more social problems. We're beginning to see more family dynamics issues.
Yeah.
We're beginning to see lots of things that people are beginning to take notice of. And some know where to seek information, some don't. Some want to hear it rather than look for it or read it. So I think that's why the demand is out there. Yeah.
And you're going to continue and putting those information out.
Oh, sure. I will continue, because I think for me, it's about, if I can make a difference in one person's life, then I think I've got a great satisfaction.
That's good. That's good. Let me bring you back to the Cancer World Conference itself. And as you said, this is our second annual Cancer World Conference. And what made you want to do part 2? If I can just go straight to the point like that.
Well, apart from the comments, and the request, well, it's about, I think in the last 12 months we've had, I've known of at least 10 people in our community who've died of cancer.
Oh, wow.
Yes. In all sectors.
Yeah.
As in whether educated, uneducated, affluent, non-affluent, financially okay, not financially okay.
So you've seen it all.
I've seen it all within our community.
Yeah.
So I think that even, it just drove my thirst really more. To do more.
And do you think there has been people have gained knowledge, and you've seen that it's easier? Because I know when you started delivering the health show, there were apprehension from aspects of the community to say, well, why are you talking about cancer? You know what I mean? Because it was like the big C, the taboo word. Do you think it's becoming easy to communicate with others, and with the experience of the many deaths of cancer, people who have passed away with cancer-related illnesses, and as well as you going out either in social settings or in formal settings? Do you think people are okay with it now when they see you?
Yeah, I think they're beginning to be okay.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of apprehension, but I think they're beginning to be okay, because I think they see me now. One thing I've noticed, people see me now and say,
they don't point the finger anymore.
Are you? No, but they say, I've seen you somewhere. Okay. Are you not the lady that does the health show? I'm like, yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So, so they are beginning to welcome the conversation.
Yeah.
And so we will continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good. And I think in terms of personalized having to form relationship, have you established any sort of like with the birth of the health show and with what you do? I know that's your field from a professional point of view. Have you been able to say, okay, I've built relationship based on my education and awareness on cancer within the community itself?
Yeah, I have.
That's good.
I have, because especially, as you know, with the outreach work I do, that has played a significant role in building relationship with the community. Like you mentioned earlier on, having that opportunity now to go to either be it social or official events where I'm given the platform to say a little bit about what I do and raising not just cancer awareness but health in general. I think yes, it's going a long way.
It's brilliant, fantastic. Well, people, listen, if you've just joined us, I've got the amazing Isatta Sisay-Jalloh live with me in the studio, the guru for the health show, and she's no shying away of sharing the knowledge on cancer awareness and cancer related topics. So we're glad to have her here, and one of the key reasons why we're here, notwithstanding the fact that this Saturday, which is the 7th of March, we are having the 2nd annual C conference. That's the cancer conference, and I believe this Saturday we're going to be at the City of London Academy, which is Kola, and we will have the full address later from Isatta, and we will talk about the details of how the 2nd annual conference is going. But if you've just joined us, we're quite happy for you to call us live in the studio or share your story, share your knowledge, or better still, why not ask Isatta Sisay questions live? You don't have to ask me. I've got no answer on any cancer related I can only tell you one thing on my own personal experiences of people whom I know. My elder sister being one person who I lost to breast cancer. It's now this March the 28th is going to make 6 years since I lost my elder sister to breast cancer. So I know people, and she's not the first person, obviously, I know. But ask questions, and then your questions will be answered. The number to call is 07946 141369. That's 07946 141369. Ask any question you want to ask, or if you're too shy to ask your question live on air, why not just share your question with us on the system? You can just send your comments and we'll be very happy to read it. I want to say good evening and welcome to everybody that has joined us so far. Because you are great in your numbers and you're many in your gathering, I won't be able to go by names and by platforms. So what I will do now, we will carry on talking to Isatta, and in about 5 minutes time we will play a music for you, and we'll have a short break and we'll come back. So Isatta, let's talk about the second annual conference again. So this year, let's talk about the topics that you're going to be discussing. What sort of what have you lined up?
We've lined up loads, so because of that I'm pleading, please come on time.
Yeah.
This is not BMT. It's not going to be Black Man time. It's going to be GMT, Greenwich Mean Time.
Yeah.
If we have 2 people, we will start 1 o'clock on the dot. So hence I've given room for registration. 12 o'clock registration starts. Tea and coffee till 1. 1 the MC starts. And of course, who else is going to be the master of ceremony? Our very own Mr. Alan Smith. I think we know him very well in the community as an orator and very well knows what he does best. And then following on from that, we're going to look at, just as an icebreaker, just general health and well-being, just how you maintain a healthy lifestyle. Again, that's going to be by one of our Sierra Leonean sisters who has worked within the NHS sector for the last 20 years or more. And then we move on to more serious things. We move on to cervical cancer. Again, that's going to be talked about by our own Sierra Leonean sister again, who is within the cancer setting. Then we move on to prostate cancer. For those of you who attended last year, it's going to be the same speaker, Mr. Abu. He's a uro-oncologist, basically a cancer specialist who deals with everything to do with urology, which basically means the bladder, the prostate, and all that kind of area. So he's gonna...
I enjoyed this session.
Yeah, so he's gonna tell. And guess what? You know last year he did a PowerPoint?
Yeah.
This year when I asked him, he said, no PowerPoint.
Okay.
I am going to even make it more interactive.
Oh, wow.
So be prepared, be ready for that. And then after him, we are going to have a survivor, again a Sierra Leonean survivor, to come and share their experience of prostate cancer.
Wow.
And the reason why I'm doing this, I've been very particular about the survivors who I've chosen, is because we have to understand that in our community, people are going through challenges. They're going through difficult times, and they are surpassing those difficult times, because you hear all sorts of stories about cancer and what happens. And I just want people to see people who have actually been diagnosed with cancer, they've had their treatment, and they've survived it, and they're getting on with their normal life. So I'm gonna keep that quiet. I'm gonna keep who the survivors are quiet, and then we'll take, and then we go on to breast cancer.
I think that's gonna be a jaw-dropping moment.
I know,
for a lot of people.
It is like, a jaw-dropping moment.
They're gonna be like, what?
But actually, I've got a show with him on Thursday. I'm bringing.
So if they can follow, if they can watch on Thursday, for those who are gonna watch, then they might see the exclusive.
Yes.
If you don't watch it, then you wanna wait till Saturday. Then
no, well, they're not really gonna get all of it on the show.
On the show.
There has to be the best of the best.
The juice has to be left.
Has to be for the 7th of March. So then we go on to the reason why prostate, because people might be thinking, why these 3 different cancers, cervical, prostate, and breast. Well, for men, prostate is the killer. The top
especially
cancer, especially 1 in 4 compared to 1 in 8 in Caucasians. And then for breast cancer, of course, that's also the top for women. So it's very important we talk about these things. So the breast cancer is going to be discussed about. She's a non-Sierra Leonean, but she's from the Caribbean, and she's been an expert in this field for a very, very long time. It's someone I work with across another hospital.
Yeah.
So I've worked with her for a very long time. And again, we're going to have a survivor from our Sierra Leone community, very well known, quite a popular lady. Lots of people are going to be shocked when they realize that she had breast cancer.
Yeah.
And she did not only have, she had full treatment. So they're going to be shocked with that. So, and then we'll have a break where we'll provide some nibbles and snacks and water and ginger beer and orange juice for people to just quench their thirst and have something. And then we reconvene.
Yeah.
We reconvene, and then we do myth busting. Again, we were talking about the fact that so many stories are out there.
Yeah.
I went to a gathering and somebody said, anybody that takes chemotherapy dies. And I'm like, what? I was so gutted. I was like, that's not true.
Yeah.
Or the other myth is, oh, cancer. Why? How come cancer is just a black man sick?
Yeah.
You know, how come the white people? I'm like, pardon me.
Yeah.
You know, so it's those kind of things. And again, that's going to be done by one of our Sierra Leonean sisters, who is also a lung cancer specialist nurse.
Okay.
So, and then we have cancer treatment, which is going to focus on chemotherapy and some of the trials that are available, some of the new treatments that are coming up, because as you know, there's a lot of research going on with cancer. Cancer is a big, big thing in the world. So this person is a non-Sierra Leonean, and he's going to deliver that. And then we move on to nutrition and cancer. We talk about your diet. We talk about what's good, what's bad, some of the things that you hear there. For example, you hear stories like, oh, sugar, cancer cells feeds on sugar, so you shouldn't eat sugar, you shouldn't eat yogurt, all sorts of stories you hear. So she's gonna come and put us right. And this lady is also a non-Sierra Leonean, and she's also gonna share something that everybody's gonna be like, oh, she's a doctor.
Yeah.
By the way, she's a medical doctor that's specialized in nutrition. And the cancer treatment gentleman is a pharmacist who's got a doctorate in pharmacy.
Wow.
And also done a lot on clinical oncology, which is cancer basically. And then we come from a religious background. It's always important. They say wherever 2 or 3 are gathered, you have to call on our maker.
Yes.
So we know in our community, primarily we have 2 religious faiths, Islam and Christianity. So I've called on a pastor to come and just talk briefly about the role of your faith when you're going through difficult time. And I've also called on someone who is also very well known in our community, very learned in Islam. He will also come and talk to us about the value of our religion, but how you relate it to illness and the importance of your faith.
Okay.
So, and then we're also going to have someone who will come and talk to us about traditional and cultural challenges. As we all know,
which is very, very significant in our society.
Very significant.
Especially it doesn't matter where you find Sierra Leoneans, whether they're in the West, whether they're locally in Sierra Leone. It's one of the barriers which you've addressed so many times when you talk about.
Yes.
But I'll let you carry on. It's
about the challenges we face. Yeah. We see every day as a healthcare professional. We see it every day. People go on the fact that this not a hospital sick.
Yeah.
This na country sick. Now, my stepmama, I dream last night.
Yes.
Then bet me Bobby.
Yes.
Now I make this don't happen to me. Or they don't give me big foot. Or they don't shoot me with which gun and all those kind of things.
That's right,
you know. It's sometimes I say it's well and good for people who don't know any better. But for us in the diaspora, we ought to know better. I am not disputing the fact that our tradition and culture has a place. It sure does have a place. But we need to know how to utilize it and what to make of it. So we're going to have someone who was very involved in the Ebola crisis in Sierra Leone, who was very involved. He is also going to come and talk to us about that and see how best he can help us. Again, he said he's only going to have one slide that has his topic, and he's going to make it interactive.
Indeed.
So there's a lot of interactive sessions, because my brother Tiwa was saying, oh, there's too much, it'll be long. No, I think if people can go to parties and clubbing from 10 in the evening to 3, 4 in the morning, why can't you come and sacrifice 3 to 6 hours? I mean, we start at 1, we finish about 7. That's just 6 hours, and in between we have a break.
I have an idea.
You know,
I have an idea. What I think, if I'm going in as a guest, as a member of the public, I will be going with one of my electronic devices, because in the average household today, in SaLone household, you'll find that there's 2 or 3 devices, out of which probably 2 or 3 is not being used, because the average person can use about a mobile phone, a tablet, you know them. So take one of your devices, charge it fully, just record. Just record the session, because it's going to be empowering, it's going to be educating. So if you, even if you're not able to grasp all the information, you go back and then you say, you know what, my Sunday evening, I'm going to watch the cancer conference.
Yes.
And you're going to spend a whole 2 hours. You're going to enjoy the conference, and in your own time, and you can use that information gathered to implement and apply it within your own setting, because you might know somebody or have known of somebody who has had 1 or 2 ailments, or you yourself might be going through asking yourself some signs and symptoms which are happening with you, which you may think, what's going on here? By going back and listening to what one of the keynote speakers have said, you might be, I better go see my doctor or my GP straight away. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
So my take would be to people out there, take an alternative device. If you think you're record.
Somebody did it last year. A brother, Maurice Franke, he recorded all the different sessions and posted it on Twitter. Yeah, he did that last year. And that was very, very amazing. He did it, and that's very important. And of course, last but not the least will be my address. I'm sure people will be thinking, isn't she going to say something? Oh yes, I'm going to say something. I've got a lot to say, but I'll leave it to the end, because it will be at that point where I'll tell you where the health show is going, what is the plan for the next 12 to 18 months, and how best you can support. So again, please come.
And then also you've missed another key part, which is, in between your breaks, you do have entertainment, which is something that we can look at into detail later. Do you want to just touch on that you do have side attractions? We
will have side attractions, but I have to finalize that with the venue, because the time the time I had in mind that we were going to end, or we have access to the venue, that seemed to have been restricted a little bit. So, but I will finalize that on Wednesday. But in between, we'll see what we could do. Just to liven things up, but you can do that anyway by yourself. You can entertain us.
We'll try.
We've got our what DJ Max,
Mixmaster K
will be there as well. So he can give us some light stuff, especially when people are having meals. Because the other thing, I'm going to have people, apart from the food and then the leaflets that are going to be out, I'm actually going to have 2 protection advisors who are gonna come set up stalls. So it will be an opportunity to come and talk to a professional about life insurance, critical illness, accident cover, you name it.
You've made this so easy and wonderful for people.
I know. So, and it's all free.
And
but all I'm asking is come with donation, because once I tell you what I'm gonna be doing in the next 18 months, you're gonna want to dig in your pocket to help support me, which you've been very good at so far. So, and then I need to obviously come and end the journey for Salimatu. For those who don't know or who know about Salimatu, my young lady who had the breast surgery.
Don't tell me she's gonna.
I'm going to save it. The journey ends. I will tell people where the journey it's not going to end. It's not going to end.
So basically, Salimatu, the ongoing story.
The ongoing story.
Right.
You know, so so it's I'm excited.
It's a full on.
I'm looking forward to it. And
it's imperative that people do turn up on time. Listen, people, we're just gonna have a short break. Do not go away. We're just gonna have a short break. and we'll ask our producer to just play one music and then and a quick advert break. And when we come back, we will continue talking to Isatta Sisay-Jalloh all about the health show, because I'm so drawn into this, and it's important that you and I stay in together. So when we come back, we will be talking to Isatta Sisay-Jalloh.
You're organized freak, hey?
Yeah, I want to know more. I want to know more. Feel free, people, if you want to contact us. The studio number is 0794614139. That's 0794614139. The number is on your screen. Right, welcome back, people. Thank you very much. The song that you had played, that was the amazing, the sensational Innocent Pray For Me, and one of the most played songs for 2019 in across the diaspora on all SaLone platforms as well, and as well as non-SaLone platforms. So Innocent recently in SaLone celebrated 2 decades in the industry. Yes, that's 20 years it's been going on in the music industry, and it's even getting better and stronger. So well done. And yes, so welcome back, people. I just want to say a little bit of a token of thank you to a young man of United African Wear, Hafiz Mohammed, for actually getting me a bit. Isatta no jealous.
Hafiz, hey.
You only come.
Hafiz, this is not even good.
Hafiz Mohammed of United.
Hafiz,
United African Wear.
Hafiz, I want a T-shirt by Saturday. If you don't bring me my T-shirt,
that belongs to DJ Ish. Except if you want to carry DJ Ish on your back.
Isha too.
So thank you to Hafiz Mohammed of United Africa Wear. So where Costo put under the bluff. Now take Costo, so not you want green here. So Hafiz, if you've been reaching out all the community, I don't know why. Have you got a woman version of these? Because he's been dishing out all the men.
Hafiz, you better. Hafiz, I know they talk.
I've got him into trouble now.
Hafiz, I'm not going to say a word.
Hafiz, you're now in trouble.
Hafiz, I'm going to message you. I will message you, Hafiz. Hafiz, if I don't get my T-shirts. And you better spell my name right on it.
I don't do.
It's double T. I sit with a double T.
I grab na gonna fly straight. You understand?
Better for you.
Well, welcome back to SaLone Talk on Diaspora Voices. And here with me is my very own big sister, our very own health guru, and that's been encouraging, educating us, and sensitizing us. Also, a community champion by United Artists UK and I. Well done. So welcome back. Tonight we're talking about the 2nd annual conference, which is taking place this Saturday, the 7th of March, at the City of London Academy. The City of London Academy. I'm so used to calling it Cola. And listen, let's talk about the venue, because leaving the very first venue where you launched, it was a good size, really decent. Setting was very, very nice, and then like you've just jumped from this. I'm gonna say then you double promotion from class 1 to class 4, not even class 3. When you got the City of London Academy, were you intimidated about the size? I'm not saying this, the venue itself. When just in terms of the size, do you think, wow, am I going to be able to get the audience? I know I've got the speakers, but am I going to be able to get the audience?
Not really.
No?
Not really.
Why?
Because I thought we had a good size. We had about almost close to 100 people last year.
Right, yeah.
And it was just about okay.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, okay, that was the first program.
Right.
That was the first annual cancer program. And for me, I thought, the timing was probably why we didn't have enough people, because it was during the Easter period, and lots of people had gone home on for holidays, and others have gone otherwhere. And also, it clashed with another very popular event. So I had to think about timing this year, because after last year's event, and the fact that the health show has kind of started becoming a household name, people are asking, oh, I didn't go to the one last year, I'm coming to this one. Now, I might be wrong, But I don't think I'm going to be disappointed.
Good.
So that is why, for me, even if it's still 50 people that turn up this year, there's going to be plenty space, plenty room for them to move around, plenty of food. So I'm not intimidated.
Well, good.
No.
In terms of layouts as well, the format, you slightly changed the setting. You're kind of alluding to that at the start of the program where you said, do you have like an area where people converge and then you have the main auditorium?
No, people will come in. They come in, they do registration.
Okay.
It's basically their name and contact number.
Okay.
And email if they choose. And then they go down to the main hall and grab themselves tea or coffee if they want, and then they're seated, you know. And if they come early, for those the early birds who will come at 12, it gives them opportunity to start looking around, look at the information that is out there, and then see whether it's tasteful or not, and then they grab a seat, and. But they're able. There's plenty of space within the main hall where people can just stand and chat prior to the event itself starting. So once the event starts, it's business. It's serious business. So all hands on deck, really.
Interesting. Right. Listen, what I want to do a little bit of taking it home. I call it. I want to take this home, where I want to come back, because a lot of us know you or think we know you. A lot of people might be watching for the first time, don't know you, and a lot of people that have seen you feel they know you, because sometimes when you get to know people either from a distance or know what they do, you think you know them. So I want to let's just have a little bit of I don't call it icebreaker, I call it a de-icer. Let's have some de-icer moments. Right. So just tell me a little bit about yourself, just briefly. Isatta Sisay, what is Isatta Sisay?
So tell me about yourself. Okay, so I'm Isatta Sisay, Jalloh, because I'm spoken for. Okay. And I'm a mother of two biologically, but mother to many. And I've got a husband. I'm a healthcare professional. I'm very involved in my community, but also very much involved in every community that I find myself. I find myself to be someone who is very proactive, supportive, a pragmatist, and realistic person as well. And someone who is always keen to develop themselves and others. So that's what I consider myself. Someone who has a passion for what I do. I have a passion.
Did you record that? I asked you to record it. Did you record that? You should have recorded that.
Yeah.
Because that's gold moment. That's golden moment. Right. So obviously the question is easy. The answer is easy. The question is, what made you become interested in health, and then especially passionately committed towards cancer?
Oh, what made me become interested in health? I really don't know. As a child, I always wanted to be a healthcare professional. Okay. You give me a baby doll, I will put.
And when did you knew that? 8 years, 5 years?
Like 5, 6.
Right.
You give me a baby doll, I'll make holes in that baby doll. To just make sure it functions as a human being. Yeah. I'll give that baby doll injection. I'll feed that baby doll. I'll make sure that baby doll pees and all of that. So I've always wanted, and I was always attracted in how, to machinery, things that work, how they work, and what makes people better and all of that. So I was always interested. But also during my time spent in Sierra Leone, I was quite a sickling person, so I was constantly in hospital. Okay. So it kind of like, for some people that puts them off, but actually it was, for me, it was actually, it boosted my curiosity as to know what's behind all this. Why do they give you this medication? Why not this medication? Why do they treat you? Why, one moment I'm feeling crap, I think I'm gonna die, the next minute I'm feeling better and all of that. So
fantastic. Yeah. And if you were to say to somebody, as Isatta Sisay, what you were saying earlier on, what would you say is your biggest strength? I was going to say your greatest strength, but you probably don't want to let us know. But what would you say is your biggest strength that defines Isatta Sisay as a person, as a healthcare professional?
I think I'm quite vocal.
I think that's an understatement.
I think I'm quite vocal. In Sierra Leone, I would say I got big mouths.
Yeah.
You know, I'm quite vocal.
Yeah.
I'm a good communicator.
And as I said to you, in your professional as well as in your and you think that's played to your strength.
Both. Yeah. In my profession, you ask any of my colleagues, one of them is watching, two of them actually, Adi, who I used to work with at the Marsden, Emma Jane, who I currently work with, and I've worked with her for the last 14 years.
Yeah.
She will tell you I am quite vocal. Constructively vocal, not destructively vocal. I'm constructively vocal, where I say it as it is. I'm a plain preacher, and I'll tell you as it is, and I move on.
I mean,
and communicate, but a good communicator at that as well.
Fantastic. So now let's flip that coin. What would you say is your biggest weakness?
I think my biggest weakness is becoming more of a strength as I grow and I learn a lot and everything. My tolerance level was quite low. I was less patient. Yes, that would be my biggest weakness.
I'm a sample of that.
Yes. You know,
but it's playing up to be your strength now.
Yes.
Why would you think people may have seen you, or you think within yourself that you were less patient or thing? Is it because you're highly skilled professional and you strive towards achieving the best? And is that why you have a very short span of patience towards things or feelings?
I think it's because I'm a pragmatist person. I get on with things. If something is not working, I think about plan A or plan B. Plan A doesn't work, I think about plan B. I don't dote on plan A, thinking, oh, this thing hasn't worked, what am I gonna do? Oh no, I move on. I move on very quickly. So I can't cope with that stagnant feeling or thoughts and whatever. However, it does have its place. That's why I said my biggest weakness is actually now becoming a strength, and has become a strength. Yeah, so I wouldn't say I'm perfect, but I'm one who takes notice. I self-critique myself a lot. I criticize myself a lot. Oh yes, it is a good thing. You have to self-critique yourself. And that's one thing I'm bent on teaching my children. If you can self-critique yourself, it takes you, it goes a long way.
And how do you know that you've put yourself under a lot of pressure by self-evaluating, so to speak? How do you think maybe you've pushed yourself too far by so much thinking, you know what, this cancer conference, damn, you're looking at it, you've gone through the whole program, you've looked at it, and then you've pinpoint your timing, you know that you go, and then you go back and you're thinking, no, I'm not happy, let's start again in terms of programming. Let me go. When do you think you've done enough on yourself?
When you have those one or two trusted people that say it's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So you always have, basically you do listen.
Yes.
That's what you're trying to say.
I do listen, yes.
Okay. Yes. So what would you say, Isatta Sisay, like for somebody who's you thrive on education, you thrive on learning, even though you're still learning and you've achieved a very, very higher level of education. What would you say is do you have any advanced career goals in your head that you're thinking, I want to do something more, furthermore, in terms of knowledge base?
Oh yeah.
That's the simple yes. Yeah. And what would you like to do then?
Well, I'm thinking of doing another master's.
Right.
I'm thinking of doing another master's in advanced practice.
Okay.
Yes. So pretty much going towards the route of being a nurse consultant.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And have you put a timeline on that, or is it just in the consultation stage?
Just in the consultation. I'm thinking about it.
You're thinking about, but you're definitely going to put something else in the shelf in terms of
knowledge. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Right. So we look at SaLone today, and then we're thinking you've gone there, you've spent some time, and well done for you. We saw all the videos and all of that stuff, and you spent quite a lot of time. And it's the first time in many years that you've gone in and then you've placed yourself in the position in a healthcare setting where you're not a patient, where you're going there from somebody as an observer and as a supporter towards the healthcare. What did you pick up when you were in Sierra Leone?
Sierra Leone, we have a lot of gaps, and we have a lot of bridges to build. We have a lot of resources that we require, but most importantly, we have to work on our mindset. Yeah, those are the things I picked up. Yeah.
And the challenges of the mindset in terms of from a patient point of view or from a healthcare professional?
Both.
On both?
On both sides.
Okay.
Sad to say. Yeah.
So let's say I am the president of Sierra Leone and I pick up the phone and I call you and I said, Isatta Sisay-Jalloh, I want you to pack up today. I'm not going to give you a ministerial position as Minister of Health, but I'm going to give you a health czar, and I want you to become Sierra Leone's latest, newest health czar, and I'm going to give you a 5-year package based on, because we're in government for 5 years. A, would you take it? B, what would be your first focus?
I will ask the president to sign a contract. So,
well, you know, I've called you. Oh,
no. The president will have to sign a contract.
Right.
I will put down my own terms and conditions. They would put down their own terms and conditions. I will put down my own terms and conditions, and they have to sign and take heed of that terms of and conditions.
Yeah.
Purely because I wouldn't want my purpose to be jeopardized in any shape and form, and the only way I can secure that is legally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you will go if the T's and C's are right.
Yes.
And then so now you're gone. What would be your first area or areas of focus that you're thinking? Okay, in the next 12 months, I want to work on this concept or on this project. Me and my team that you're going to put together.
I think the first thing from my experience is human resources. Yeah, you have to look after the people who deliver the service, and you have to encourage and work on their mindset, their mentality, their ability to do the work, and what are some of the challenges that they're faced with that stops them from doing the work. I don't in any doubt deny the fact that all the healthcare professionals or allied healthcare professionals in Sierra Leone, they went into it because they have a passion for it. And actually, they are they have true passion for what they're doing. However, because of all the challenges, the resources, the lack of resources, the gaps, it then puts them in a position where when you as an outsider or a patient sees them, you think they don't care. So for me, that would be the first thing. It's about working on the human resources, reassuring them, giving them that confidence that if you do A, B, and C, your outcome will be great. Your outcome will be positive. Once you put that in place, then they are going to work with you, not for you, with you, to change and implement systems and policies in place. You have to work with people. They shouldn't work for you. That's my philosophy. You work with them, not they don't work for you.
That sounds good. Right, listen, okay, and then we're going to round up on that little de-icer I said by saying one final question, and that is if Sierra Leone is to be hit with another Ebola virus. Now we've seen the COVID-19 and coronavirus, which has now become a pandemic across the world. And if Sierra Leone is to be tested, and what do you think we are lacking, or are we better prepared? Let me just rephrase it. Are we better prepared, knowing that we've gone through the Ebola virus and we barely scraped through and managed with the help of external or the global health partners? Do you think we're in a better place if we are to be tested with another virus outbreak?
Well, we're in a better place compared to when we had Ebola. We've obviously learned a lot from Ebola, and we have put in some structures. For example, before Ebola, you go to Sierra Leone, you probably won't see any hand washing facility. But since Ebola and post Ebola, now you go, there's hand washing facilities. So there's simple things that have that were implemented during Ebola that has carried on and have been sustainable. Now, where I think it will be a bit of an issue where we're still lacking is information sharing, sensitization. We need to learn as a country to make the right noise. We are not making enough noise. We have to make noise about certain things, and that includes this COVID-19. We have to talk about it. We have to raise the awareness. We have to educate people about how they can avoid it or prevent it. We have to educate people about what they should be looking for, and when they see it, who they should go to. We need to educate the professionals as well, how they deal with things that they're presented with, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we still have gaps.
So we still have gaps, but we have made some strides.
We are making some strides, but I think one of the things I notice as well, they do make a bit of noise. People argue that they've made, because I did see the mayor of Freetown do a video. I've seen a couple of press conferences, but everything seems to be focused on Freetown, on the city. But what people fail to realize, people travel, people commute from the provinces to the villages, from the villages to the city, and vice versa. And usually, so if you're just focusing on the city, what about the outskirts of the city? What about the provinces, the towns, the villages? How are you disseminating that information down to them? And I think time and time again, this is where we get it wrong, isn't it? We got it wrong during the Civil War. The focus was all about, it's not in Freetown, so we don't have a war. Again, with Ebola, it started off, yes, it's not here yet, also. And then, so we have to be mindful.
Indeed.
We have to be mindful. I'm not an expert in that area. My brother is. I don't know if you read his article that he wrote. I think I posted it on Facebook. He was the director of the Situation Room during Ebola time.
Was he? There's a literature which went viral, and I was reading it yesterday. I'm not sure whether that's the same. There was a lengthy piece of beautiful reading.
Yeah, OBC.
Yes.
That's my younger brother.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, what an articulate young man.
Well, we're addicted to giving back to our community.
Oh my goodness. I actually sent that person that shared that information, I said, great piece of writing. Because the language was simple.
Yes.
And I'm in healthcare setting, and I got exactly what he was saying. The analytical skills, and
he's an analyst.
Okay. That's it.
He's an analyst, that's why.
Because the language was like, for somebody, because usually you get put off like with a length of thingy, but I just kept getting drawn, and I kept, because I don't have patience to read lengthy posts on social media. Sometimes I find people are just being laborious, but I just kept getting drawn, and I read the whole piece, and I'm thinking, and then I find myself a great piece of writing, beautifully written. Do you know what I mean? And
he's full of that. He's full of that.
I see. So big sister pass him on very well. Well done. So let's come back to the Cancer World Conference. The Cancer World Conference second annual C conference, so to speak, which is gonna hit us this Saturday. And I want to talk about the community relation in terms of how do we get people to come through the doors, because one of the key things last year had a success in itself is we had people who were not au fait to cancer came through the doors. How can you ensure that you're going to get that same turnout again this year, and what have you done to make sure they do?
Well, we've done a lot of publicity. We've talked about it a lot. We're talking about it now. The people who came last year are talking about it. I had somebody, actually a very good friend of mine, who said, I'm trying to bring 5 people this time, because she enjoyed it so much. It's something that is educative. We're very lucky in our society, in our community, of such events. And I think there has to be a balance. And so I will not beg people to come. I will ask people to come because it's a win-win situation. You come, it makes a difference to your life. You don't come, it still makes a difference to your life. But when you do come, you go away with a positive impact in your life. And it doesn't just have an impact on you. You are able to then cascade that knowledge down to other people. So I think it's very imperative for me to say, I am not going to beg people to come. I am going to ask people to come. People are invited. I've done what I can to make it as friendly and welcoming for people, i.e. it's free entrance, so you don't have to worry about paying. There is no dress code. You can wear anything you like. It's not a social event, so you don't have to dress glamorously. You could just slap on your jeans or your Ankara or whatever you have and you come. And yes, there will be opportunity to donate because this is self-funded. I do this with my own money. So if you can donate, that would be great. And even when people donate, it's not because I'm going to take back my money. It's actually I'm going to use it to do more stuff. So yeah, so it's open. This time as well, I've opened it to non-Sierra Leoneans. So I paid for an advert on Facebook. So I am expecting non-Sierra Leoneans this time.
And I think that's the interesting bit. And then the other thing as well that has been so fascinating is this an event for family, like of all ages, the young.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
Why is it important that a family to say, for example, oh, I don't have anybody to look after my children. My wife's gone and it's just me and the two kids at home. My wife's gone on a long day. Shift work, and well, I really want for calm in our own local language, but I don't know that if we look after the picking. Why is it important for me as a dad to just tag along with my two children? What would be there that my kids would be of interest?
They would be acquiring knowledge.
Okay.
Last year we had kids that came, and interestingly, one of the kids, few days later, went to her mom and said, "Dad, Mom, has Dad checked his prostate?" So so it did kind of resonate, it did sink in, and then later she reprocessed it and then probably went home and sought out more information, and so was able to ask that question. Now that child was about 10 years old, so I think it's quite informative. We underestimate our children's ability to absorb and retain information and reprocess it and regurgitate it, and so they should come. And also when there is illness in the family, you don't put the kids aside, isn't it?
No.
They are also affected. The whole family is affected when such an illness comes onto a family. The whole family is affected.
Would you, as a health show czar or guru, be looking at children and cancer in the future going forward? And especially in our community, or is it something that you feel that our community is ready?
Yeah, I don't think we're ready for that yet. I think let's get used to us as adults, looking at ourselves and thinking about ourselves and getting a bit more familiar with what we should and shouldn't do, or what we can and cannot do, or what we should be looking out for. Once we are comfortable with that, then we can move on to the more sensitive, because children are quite sensitive. It's a very sensitive area in terms of ill health and all of that. So let's be confident with ourselves first.
Okay, so back to the Cancer World Conference. On the day you've spoken about all the exciting bits that are happening there. You also talk about the journey where you visited Sierra Leone. Before even visiting Sierra Leone, you embarked on this program with a lovely lady that you shared on the globe, because I can't say internet. You shared it in the diaspora, and ever since then there was a massive global support. You were able to visit, things where progress were made, the procedures were done. Do you mind, just without giving a lot, just juicing out people out there who may have not seen some of, because I know you've done a lot. You've done updates on Facebook and other social media platforms. Would you mind just sharing the latest updates so far of this wonderful young lady, this special person?
Oh, this special person. This special person, as we all know, I met her when I went to Freetown, Sierra Leone in December, and she just caught my eye basically. So I went to Thinking Pink. Thinking Pink breast cancer organization focuses on screening for breast cancer, and then if possible they fund further investigations and treatment. So this young lady was one of the ladies that came to Thinking Pink that day when I was there. But the interesting thing is she's a young girl. She's a minor. She's 16 years old, and she will not have breast cancer at that age. Breast cancer is usually 30 and above. One or two statistics shows that they have experienced it below 30, but not that common. So she was there with this massive breast, 10 times the size it should be, over double GF, whatever you call the cups. And she was struggling. She was in a lot of pain. She was depressed. She wasn't eating. She stopped going to school, all because, you know, of mockery, of bullying, and all sorts. And they came to Thinking Pink because they didn't really know where to go. As much as she had something medically, in medical terms, it's called breast hypertrophy. Basically, the breast tissues just keep growing and growing and growing. They don't stop. The traffic light system goes kaput. Yeah. So so she came to Thinking Pink because that was her only hope. And luckily for her, and fortunately for me as well,
you were there.
I was there to examine her. So I examined her, and I spoke to the auntie who was the next of kin. I said to them, look, I want to do something, but the only way I can do something is going social media and giving that shock. And I said, are you okay for me to do this? And I spoke to the young lady as well. Are you okay? She said, I said, so, and then we just hit the ground running. A few eyebrows were raised because, you know, her breast was out and her face was out, and I had one or two people contacting me via Facebook saying, oh, you shouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but she consented. Oh, but she's a minor. I said, yeah, but how about all the adverts we see, you know, in the Western world that is full, as long as someone consents and they want to show that bit of their body, so be it. Anyway, massive appeal. I then raised close to about £600, and I was able to take her to the General Hospital, Connaught, and to be assessed, and she was accepted for surgery. So we did that surgery. We started off, we were going to do both together, but then there was a bit of hiccup in terms of the availability of the surgeons. So they did one, and then a couple of weeks later they did the second one. The healing process was a bit slow, but gradually that happened, and now she's home. She's home with her new breast, a new person, a total different person from the person I saw. And yeah, and so we're gonna take it from there. So the journey from there would be exposed.
Is she planning to return back to education?
Oh well, we'll talk about that when we get on,
you see how
on the 7th of March. You see how I'm trying to get stuff from me.
You see how I'm trying to be clever?
Yeah.
But listen, you can find out on the 7th of March. We're going to have one more last break, and when we come, we're just going to summarize the program tonight, because it's been fascinating. And we just want to hear what Isatta Sisay-Jalloh has, on top of what she's already given us earlier and all the encourages. What more should me and you and be expecting, not only from her, from our guest speakers as well, and why it's important that you do not miss the second annual C conference, C Word conference. So we'll just have a short break, and then we'll come back to you. So stay with us. Make coffee, make tea, put hot water and lime. Come back and can retreat. Call Saleh, call Bale, call Makale, call Fode, call Mohammed, call Santigi. Tell them, say the health show is happening this Saturday.
Yes.
If you spend 30 pounds, so
I am and I will. I am Isatta Sisay-Jalloh from the Health Show Partnership Program. It's World Cancer Day on February the 4th, 2020. So what are we going to do about it? I am a wife, mother, and a sister. I am a nurse with a special interest in cancer and palliative care. And I am a game changer. So join us on Saturday, the 7th of March, for the second annual cancer conference. There will be speakers talking about prostate, breast, and cervical cancer, myth busting, and looking at cancer from a traditional and religious perspective. You would walk away saying, I will get smarter, I will get screened, I will eat healthily, and I will create change. So let's work towards a brighter and healthier future. I am and I will.
Right, welcome back, people. Them I am and I will. That's right, welcome back to SaLone Talk. With me, myself, and I, the Moses, aka DJ Little, and right next to me is my own big sister, our very own Health Czar. Where I'm on the phone right now, speed dial into Ngomada. Tell her, say we need a Health Czar. She doesn't want the ministerial position. She just wants to get on with her work. Give her a team, give her an office, and allow her to fix health. You understand? She's not there to do the politics. She's there to do the job. You understand?
Are you trying to get rid of me?
I'm not getting rid of you. I'm trying to make sure, say, by the time you don't go, even infection control will get a paramount role. Now, SaLone, where you know, I mean, focus on hand wash, and then there will be a base. There will be a role for me. So why not? That's what we all need. And then don't forget, these are now out from United Africa Wear by Hafiz Mohammed. Make sure Hafiz, you're in a big trouble. So Isatta Sisay, I don't know, I didn't set you up. I just had to set you really up. So you delivered one for me and Ishmael. You forgot that Isatta was going to tell me. So make sure you call Isatta and fix up before Saturday. Don't be calling and you say you want a table. We will give you a health check. Alright. So welcome back, people. We're here. We're talking about the second annual C World Conference, which is taking place this Saturday at the City of London Academy, which is Kola, and it's in Bermondsey. And what's the full address again?
Oh, the full address is the City of London Academy, Southwark, which is Kola, and that's at 240 Linton Road. So for those of you, it's off Old Kent Road. For those of you who remember where Robert Clare used to be, it's the road leading to where Robert Clare used to be, the St. James's Road. You use that route, it will take you there.
Straight.
Or if you're coming from, let's say, the other part of London, the south is the Greenwich, New Cross path. You could come via Ilderton Road, which is the road off River of Life. So that road brings you all the way down and it will take you down to Linton Road.
If you're coming from Old Kent Road, from the castle,
you come via Old Kent Road,
and then you can just go behind the Tesco's.
Yes,
and that's the direct route.
That's the direct route. As if you're going to Rotherhithe Tunnel or you're going to Surrey Quays. For those of you coming over the river from East London, again, you just come through the tunnel or through Tower Bridge, and you'll find your way there. From Peckham, from Elephant and Castle, you have buses such as bus 381, bus P12. Bus, I think what's the other bus? Bus 1, I think.
Yeah.
They all go there, and bus 381 and bus P12, actually, there's a bus stop right at the school called Esmeralda bus stop, and you get off there, and the school is there. For those of you, there was quite a lot of luncheon sales in this school last summer.
Yeah.
And even that's where I think St. Joseph Convent did their sports day.
That's correct. Yeah.
Now that is not the section you need. You need the main school. Where those luncheon sales were held, that is the sports section.
Right.
Now this one is being held at the main school hall.
That's just the next street.
That's just the next street, because the school is divided into halves.
Yeah.
And then there's this St. James's Road that goes across, and then the Linton Road across as well.
Yeah.
So that's where you find it. It's easy to find. It's easy to put on your sat nav. Lots of side street parking, so you can park. It's Saturday. That neighborhood is fine for parking over the weekend. So please be on time. You know.
Wow. So that's it's a school which is locally and I should say nationally well known as well. Because, so if you're worried about getting lost, or you've driven outside of London and you're driving into London, and then you're thinking, just say, if you can't say the health show and people are confused, just say you're looking for the City of London Academy, and somebody will be able to point you to that direction.
Absolutely.
So obviously we're coming down to the tail end of the show, and want to say, what do you have for people? What should people be expecting again from this second annual conference that you think that is unique away from what you launched last year?
They're going to get more knowledge. I see one of our sisters, Fatima Taylor, said she's talking about mammogram.
Okay.
So Fatima, if you can make it, it will be good. There will be talk about, when we say breast cancer, it will entail screening. And so we this time we're talking more about cervical cancer. Last year we just had a speaker who came and raised awareness about cervical cancer. This year we're actually going to tell you about cervical cancer and what you can do to prevent it and what you should look out for, because early detection saves lives. That's the key message here. Yeah. And we also will be sharing how you can maintain a healthy lifestyle irrespective of cancer, just general maintaining of healthy lifestyle. We would also have the opportunity to hear from survivors, people who have experienced cancer themselves and gone through that journey and come out, you know, feeling positive and great about themselves. We'll be having that. We'll also be talking about nutrition and cancer, and this will be done by a doctor who also will have her own little story to share with you. We will also address the role of faith. We will look at the traditional and cultural aspects of it all as well, and of course it will end with my message, and it will also tell you where we're at and where we're going in terms of the health show. So it's going to be very, very useful. There is no information, I will bet you 100%, there's no information there that you hear that day that is not relevant. Whether be it hard copy information, word of mouth information, or audio information, it will all be useful, it will be informative, and you'll be pitched right to your taste.
So the other thing is, well, you just mentioned about hard copy, so there will be take-home literatures as well, right?
Yes.
And which will be there. So it's amazing. And also, if somebody was to contact you, for example, if say I've got a display stand and they want to come and display, is it too late for somebody to contact you, to reach out to you and say, I do a well-balanced diet cooking thing, I've got my banner stand, I would like to come and display, I think it's relevant for this kind of platform. Is there a platform for that, and how can they go about reaching you?
Well, sadly, so not this time.
Okay.
But actually, as you know, last year the venue was smaller compared to this year. This year we've gone bigger. So who knows next year? I've already got ideas, because I've had people contacting me saying, "Oh, I want to come and do this. I want to come and do this. Oh, I want to come and put this stand and everything." And I've had to say no. The only people that I've said yes to, while I invited them, are protection advisors, because I think that's one thing we need in our community. We need to people to start thinking about how they protect themselves and their loved ones in terms of their finances. And so I would say no to that, but by all means they should come. When it's question time, they might be able to contribute one or two, make one or two comments as well, and then we'll take it from there. So my
So can I display my banner?
Which banner?
Mine and my brother's banner.
Which one is your and your brother's banner?
10 benefits why it's important to get regular exercise.
Well, the countdown is a branch of the health show. So what do you expect?
Well, I am going to cook my banner up on the day. We're cooking it up. We're not pulling it up. We're cooking it up on the day.
So I mean, we're going to have you guys there. Of course, Sierra Gem Media is there. We're going to. This is being done in collaboration with the Sierra Leone Cancer Charity as well, VG, and so they're also going to have banners up, but it's all going to be cancer related, health related, cancer related. So so there will be room for stuff.
Interesting. Right, look, it's been great, and I hope that you've taken. I appreciate you taking your time to come at this very short notice to come and talk about it. And we are calling on the SaLone community and friends of SaLone as well to come out this Saturday and be with us at the City of London Academy, Southwark 240 Linton Road, SE1 5LA. The only reason why we're asking you to bring money is for donation. We're not asking you to bring money to come and pay at the door. We're asking you to come along with your money because you are definitely going to be moved. You are going to be sensitized, you're going to be empowered, and you're going to feel the need to be charitable. So that's the reason why you should not come empty-handed. But feel free. And again, as Isatta mentioned earlier, you are not under any pressure to overdress or underdress. Just come as you are and be yourself as long as you feel comfortable. What you're coming to do, you're coming to gain knowledge, you're coming to gain awareness, and you're coming to be sensitized. And more importantly, bring along the children. If you feel that your children finish their Saturday class at 12 o'clock after their 9 to 12, and then you're thinking, okay, what am I going to do now for the next few hours with them? Just bring them along and gain some knowledge. And there's going to be time for a pause where you can have a quick break, and then we'll come back. So, but you don't want to miss it out. I want to say a massive thank you to Isatta Sisay-Jalloh and for being here, and the partners that are putting up this second annual conference, which is taking place this Saturday. And I look forward to it. And I want to say also thank you to all of those speakers who are making all the massive sacrifices to sharing their knowledge, because as the word goes, even though I'm going to give her the last word, I'm going to steal this out of her mouth. When you talk, you learn, and then you share, you feel very empowered. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. So thank you, my brother DJ Litu, aka Abdul Wahab, the Moses, etc. So as you've heard from the horse's mouth, it's about the C Word Conference this Saturday, the 7th of March. Please make it a duty, a point of duty to attend, and be on time as well. Registration starts at 12. By 7:30 we're done. So if you've still got a social event to go to, you can still go to that social event. If you've got a lunch or sale to go to, you can still go, because we all know that's even when that's the time they kick off.
Yeah.
So please come and get some knowledge, absorb some knowledge, and take it with you so that you can share it. Because the C Word Conference is all about raising awareness within our community and encouraging people to take positive action for their own health, changing our attitudes in terms of dealing with cancer, knowing where to seek information, having resources available to us, and understanding how we tackle some of these challenges when we are faced with it, because the reality is 1 in every 4 person will be diagnosed of cancer. And so we are all affected one way or another. If it's not you, it's your relative. If it's not relative, it's a family friend. If it's not family friend, it's a friend of a friend or a work colleague, and so on and so forth. So none of us are immune to it. So, but the more you know about it, the better and easier it is to tackle it and deal with it. So please, please, like I said, I am not begging you. I am asking you, because it's a win-win situation. Come and seek knowledge, and knowledge will be given to you. You will feel empowered. You will feel sensitized. You will feel liberated to some extent. Some of the myths that you probably have in your mind will be bursted away. So please join us on the 7th of March at 12 o'clock at the City of London Academy, 240 Linton Road, SE1 5LA. Parking is available all on the side streets, and it's the main building, not the sports building, and there will be signs there to show that we're there. Thank you very much, and have a lovely evening.
Thank you. Isatta Sisay-Jalloh is going to be with us still here in the studio on Thursday for the normal show, which is the health show. And she's got a very special guest on Thursday, so you don't want to miss it. So again, thank you, and I want to say a massive thank you to my young producer, DJ Mixmaster K, for an excellent job. Thank you for producing the show this evening, DJ Mixmaster K. I will be here next week, Monday, and hoping to have another special guest in the studio with me, just working on confirming the availability of all parties. Once we confirm that, we will be having a special guest on Monday with us as well. Thank you. Don't forget.
Some questions.
Yes. Were there any questions?
Oh, Fatima.
Yeah.
Fatima Taylor just asked, will you be covering the impact of religious psychology in health? Oh, yes, yeah. Fatima. The role of faith. We are going to have the two most common religion in our community. So I'm going to have someone from the Christian faith, and I'm going to have someone from the Islamic religion. Yeah. So yes, those are things. We're going to tackle that. We're also going to tackle tradition and cultural challenges as well. Yeah. So everything will be covered, my sister. Make sure you come. Make sure you're there. Don't tell a friend, and a friend will tell a friend. And like my brother said, when you do come, just so you don't miss out on some stuff, come with an extra device where you could record the speakers, so that in your quiet moment you can go and replay and listen and do what you want, really. But knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Yeah.
Thank you very much, people. We'll see you next week Monday with another SaLone Talk edition. And thank you, Isatta Sisay-Jalloh. God bless you. We'll see you next week Monday.
Mommy. If you spend £30 so money.
I am, and I will. I am Isatta Sisay-Jalloh from the Health Show Partnership Program. It's World Cancer Day on February the 4th, 2020. So what are we going to do about it? I am a wife, mother, and a sister. I am a nurse with a special interest in cancer and palliative care. And I am a game changer. So join us on Saturday, the 7th of March, for the 2nd Annual Cancer Conference. There will be speakers talking about prostate, breast, and cervical cancer, myth busting, and looking at cancer from a traditional and religious perspective. You would walk away saying, I will get smarter, I will get screened, I will eat healthily, and I will create change. So let's work towards a brighter and healthier future. I am, and I will.